Here was a boy, and there was another boy, pulling on the same pair of trousers. One pulled, and the other pulled, and so begins the story. One fine day, a long time ago, on the outskirts of a small village there lived a farmer, his beautiful young wife, and a handsome brown cow. He loved his wife very much, especially because she was such a good cook. In fact, when her clay crock pot full of bean soup was cooking in the town oven, the people in the village would poke their heads out of their windows or come to their front doors, sniffing the air. We know what the farmer will eat today, fasolada, bean soup, lucky man. When people asked her to share her recipe, she'd smile and say, "It's not what I put in the soup, it's the pot the soup is in." While the farmer loved his wife, he also loved his brown cow. Each day, as he did his chores around the farm, this extraordinarily handsome cow was his constant companion. She'd follow him everywhere. In fact, when the farmer returned to his house for the afternoon meal, the cow was right there, standing by the kitchen window. And I would venture to say he loved this cow almost as much as he loved his wife and her cooking. One particular day, his wife cooked up a batch of baked beans in her favorite clay crock pot. When the afternoon meal was finished, she placed the pot on the windowsill. "I'll wash it later," she thought to herself, and went to take a little rest. The farmer had already settled down for his afternoon nap. Meanwhile, the cow, sitting beneath the window, caught the aroma of the beans in her nostrils. She stood up, looked around. The coast was clear. Very carefully, she managed to stick her head inside the pot. I'm sure she got a little taste of the remaining beans, but it was very uncomfortable inside the pot, and when she tried to pull her head out, you guessed it, her head was firmly stuck inside the pot. The unfortunate cow began swinging her head back and forth in an effort to dislodge the pot. She began to bellow and moo, and in no time at all, the sound reached the farmer's ears inside the house. He jumped out of bed, raced to the window, only to see the cow's awful predicament. He was shocked at the sight of his prized cow with a crock pot stuck on her head. He dashed out and attempted to pull it off. Hearing the commotion, the farmer's wife came running out to see what was going on. Just at the moment she arrived on the scene, the farmer had picked up a large rock and was about to break the pot. She shrieked, "Be careful! Whatever you do, don't break the pot!" He yelled back, "What are you saying? The poor cow can't breathe. We've got to get this pot off of her head immediately." The wife continued yelling, "If you break that pot, I'll never cook for you again." He was so exasperated, he said to his wife, "Well, what do you want me to do, cut the cow's head off?" His wife, distraught at the thought of losing her favorite crock pot, shouted, "Well, if you have to, so be it." The farmer was so upset and very confused he couldn't think clearly. He loved his wife. He loved to eat. Without thinking, he grabbed an axe and whacked the cow's head off just like that. Lickety-split. He was not thinking indeed, because what happened next may not surprise some of you. The clay pot holding the cow's head fell to the ground with an earth-shattering thud and broke into 1,000,000 pieces. And that was the end of that. So, we are here, and those in the story are there, and we are better off than they are.